achievements of the future. Life isn't fair. This is a phrase everyone has probably heard before, in a movie, in a book, or maybe even told by someone else. Well, believe it or not, I actually agree with this phrase. Not everyone is born rich in an area with low crime rates and lovely weather. Actually, most people aren't. Money doesn't grow on trees, and you won't magically end up in a good college. You probably won't suddenly become rich or famous unless you're extremely lucky. And I would know. A few years ago, I didn't even know English. In school, I actually needed to take special classes to help me learn English, but those classes just moved too slowly. Then my family moved and I went to a new school. There I actually had more of a choice. Did I want to stay in those classes and slowly get taught English, or use my own will to prove to myself that I could do it? I went with the second option, and here I am today, giving a speech written fully in English. And not only that, but this speech actually started out as an assignment in my advanced language arts class. This simple understanding that life just isn't fair has led people to greatness, from rags to riches, from peasants to kings. It has turned villages into empires and empires into nothing more than just another page in the history books. It has taken people to the stars and to the depths of the sea. It has freed countless slaves and has turned European colonies into independent nations. I could just stand here for the rest of my life giving examples of this and still not say everything on this list. And as long as there is life on this earth, this tiny speck of dust in the universe, there should always be hope that with hard work we can add more and more achievements to this list and push our boundaries even further. And this is why we as humans try. Because if there's a will, there is a way. And if we fail trying, we just try again. If we fall off the horse, we get back on it. If we fall into the deepest of pits, we climb out. And yes, life isn't fair. But you can certainly try and make it fair. One of my favorite quotes comes from a man who clearly understands that success comes from optimism and hard work. This comes from one of his most famous speeches, if not his most famous speech. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. John F. Kennedy. This quote not only emphasizes that success comes from optimism and hard work, but it led to one of the greatest achievements by mankind, both in science and in history, the Apollo moon landing of 1969. And yes, life isn't fair. Life isn't fair unless you make it fair. And I plan to do just that. Thank you.